up a point this season and sit at the foot of the table. They'll need to be on their game today against a side from the capital looking to shore up their spot in the top 4. The two have met 17 times, with Canberra holding the upper hand with 10 wins to Adelaide's 3. Last season, in their most recent 2 meetings, the sides were 1 apiece, with each side winning their home fixture. Well, as the players prepare for kickoff, let's check out the lineups for this one. For the home side, Ivan Karlovic has made a couple of changes to the team that lost to Brisbane last week. Charlotte Grant comes in at left back, and Chelsea Dorber gets her first start for the season. She takes her spot on the right wing. That means Isabel Hodgson drops to the bench. Now, for the visitors, Heather Garriock has had a disrupted week in the lead-up, with the smoke from the bushfires forcing cancellation of training or forcing the side indoors. Garriock has made just the one change today, shifting Camilla up to the left side of attack. Laura Hughes comes into the left of midfield, with Hayley Taylor-Young on the bench with Crofts and Keir. Well, I can tell you that it's a very smoky atmosphere here, as one would expect with those fires surrounding Adelaide, but we get the match underway with Canberra running left to right on your screens. Very important match for both sides, of course. Heather Garriock wanting that certainty of having 4 points. Just a very, very quick turnaround for the side from the capital. They leave Adelaide tomorrow to return, as Adelaide now make a foray into the area. High and wide, but good first attacking run from Adelaide United. Mallory Webber, the American in charge there. Yeah, just a 4-day turnaround for Canberra before they face the Western Sydney Wanderers, who looked, well, I think ominous is probably the best word, in the Sydney derby at the end of last week. Final match in round 6 of the W League. I don't think Canberra are the only side to have been affected by the bushfires, as Karmas pushes the ball forward. Torsness, top of the area. Rolls it back nicely for Karmas. Calls for a whistle, but to no avail from Isabella Bless. And I'm delighted to welcome into the commentary box with me today a man who had over 100 appearances for the Reds, Mr. Robbie Cornthwaite. Welcome to you.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here. It's a bright start to this game, isn't it? Both sides already getting into the attacking penalty area, so hopefully a good sign of things to come.
Absolutely. And I did mention at the top, Robbie, you're an Adelaide local. This smoke in the last 10 minutes is actually coming across the pitch towards us. It's quite ominous as Torsness rolls it back for Canberra. Not neatly dispossessed. That's nice work from Lace.
Yeah, it was well won in the middle of the park. She showed good close control to retain the ball, and then just a loose pass, keeping the pressure on for the home side.
What are you expecting in this one, Robbie? On paper, it looks like it should be one-way traffic, but Adelaide have proved a handful. They've been stubborn, haven't they?
Oh, they certainly have. I think their form doesn't probably reflect on the table. I think they've been good value. Everyone knows the fact that they've been involved and in virtually every game, or just suffering 1 goal defeats. And they've got experience at the back with Ashley and Brooks, the 2 Americans, and it's just about finding that consistency in front of goal and putting away their chances.
Oh, there is a long ball from Brooks. It's ultimately headed away to safety. Sham Karmas desperate to clear that ball. A bit messy at the moment for Canberra. Now Simone Charlie. Oh, and it's Webber that skips away. Canberra again. Quick in transition. Camilla on the far side. And the Brazilian has been wonderful with her assistance. 40 balls into the area. She actually tops the league for balls into the area so far this season. Here she is again. Winds up, has a crack. Why not?
Not afraid to pull the trigger, is she? Getting involved early. I think she's one of the keys for Canberra today, and I think Hodgson over on that right-hand side in the right-back position for Adelaide's going to have her work cut out Camilla's a player that likes to keep the ball in close. She wins a lot of free kicks for her side, and her delivery is quite good as well. So Adelaide United are going to have to be careful not to give away any fouls in and around that penalty area.
Now, Robbie, as I mentioned, you are from Adelaide. You've got a house very near the fires at the moment. How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been an interesting 48 hours. Thankfully, my house is far enough away that I didn't have any trouble. It was about 15 minutes away from me, which is far enough. But yeah, my father-in-law was fighting fires for a day or so there on his property, and probably, you know, lost about 200 acres in fencing and paddocks. But thankfully, the house and all the cattle are okay. So we know what's going on around Australia, and we wish everyone the best, and hopefully, you know, some improvement before Christmas comes in the next couple of days.
Yeah, certainly our thoughts with everyone affected by the bushfires, and you can see that Canberra are wearing red armbands. That is a show of respect to those affected by the fire and in memory of the two fathers that lost their lives. And for Adelaide, Lees.
Player out on that right.
Fowler, one of the real young stars of this Adelaide side. Webber in for a chance. Easily brought in by Karmas.
That's good number 9 play from Mary Fowler. Ball came into her feet. She had a player out on that right-hand side. Dorber was free in space, decided to turn. It was a good ball out to Webber, and Webber did well to get her shot away. Adelaide look like they're going to be pressing high as well in this opening 10 or 15 minutes.
Campagnale lets the ball run away. He's down for Brooks, who puts it at the feet of Simone Charlie, gets it back. Two Americans going toe-to-toe. Nice work from Brooks. Now it's Campagnale. Still looking for options. Feeds it through for Fowler, who's quick enough to nip it away from Karmas. And protection from Kalia Hogg. Canberra. Shows some of the lovely footwork of Mary Fowler. She's genuinely two-footed.
She is. She's a real talent, isn't she? And I mean, the fact that Adelaide, we'll just talk about this Carpignale here, biding her time, just waiting, nice and patient. Lovely weight on that pass. Fowler able to go around the keeper, and that was goal-bound. Kurt's able to get back and clear that off the line, but she's obviously a fantastic prospect. 2 goals already this season. Young player leading the line for this club.
Is it worth mentioning that 2 goals tops the scoring chart so far for Adelaide? Hopefully a few more for them today. Ball in, headed down.
That is the case, obviously, but I mean, looking at the games they've played this season, they are creating chances. They've been unlucky not to probably score more, and the fact that she is 16 years old, you don't want to be putting too much pressure on her.
Back into the mix for Adelaide, headed down this time by Brooks. No go, says Isabella Bless.
That wind's definitely starting to pick up as well. It's going to make things a little bit more difficult. That one just hung up to the back post. I think it was Brooks who got up the highest, just getting in the back of the opponent and relieving the pressure for Canberra United. First 15 minutes is interesting too, because Canberra's scored a lot of their goals early and Adelaide's conceded a fair few early as well. So if they can navigate this first 15 minutes, the home side, they're probably building confidence from there.
100% right. It's actually a story we've seen across the W League, those early goals, as we see Lais run through. Webber there trying to find the feet of Fowler, a little bit beyond them. Great intent though.
I mean, you look at this opening 8 minutes, Adelaide's probably already had 3 or 4 goal scoring opportunities. A loose pass in the midfield, Lais Araujo with the pressure, loose ball again, and Webber decided to take that one on first time with the left foot. A little bit more composure there and possibly a better chance opening up.
Grant with the throw. Charlie applying pressure to Webber.
We're used to seeing her in the attacking third, but doing the team thing, getting back there, and she's just got some instructions for a teammate. It's important Canberra just weather this early storm. Make sure away from home you don't give anything away early. Keep yourself in the game, and once things settle, start playing your football.
Yeah, Heather Garrick's side will definitely want these 3 points today. They sit level in 4th, ahead of Brisbane Roar on goal difference. Now Hogg on the far side. Once again, good pressure from the Lady Reds. Torseness. 2 goals already for Canberra this season. There we go at the feet of Lena Karmas, winds up, and there is the opening goal. Lena Karmas, one of the most experienced players in the W League, puts the visitors ahead, and that is a dream start for the Canberrans.
Well, we only just mentioned the fact that it's gone to script, hasn't it, so far? Canberra with the early goal and Adelaide conceding the early goal. Karmas with a wonderful strike from the top of the penalty area. You see Brooks goes a little bit early, tries to cut it out, misreads the ball. Silly stepping up there, and Karmas just puts her right foot through it. Straight into that top corner. Wonderful strike. And disappointing for this home crowd.
And a first goal for Lena Karmas, wearing green. 42nd, of course, all round in the W League. As you'd imagine, after 8 seasons with Sydney FC.
Amber Brooks, captain of the Adelaide United at the back there, just took a risk, came off the line and tried to intercept that pass. Didn't get there and just made things a little bit too easy for Karmas in the end. She probably could have carried the ball forward, took the strike on and finished it really well.
And Brooks belts it back up the field. Returned off the head of Rashart. And Karmas through again. Not happening this time, says Sarah Willisey.
That's good goalkeeping. Aware. Came out strong and claimed the ball. I think Adelaide United just look a little bit hesitant at the back. Just allowing the ball to bounce on that occasion, not clearing the lines. It was Karmas again who was through.
Yeah, Karmas looks hungry today. That goal puts her 5th on the all-time scorers charts. With 42 all up. Rostbacken concedes the foul. Charlotte Grant getting a start today on the left. Lace Arujo. You can keep correcting my pronunciation on that, Robbie. I know you did a story on her for one of your jobs.
I did, yeah. I caught up with her last week and she's got an interesting story.
It's a great yarn, yeah?
Yeah, spent Christmas with Pele a couple of years ago.
As you do.
She's very close friends with Pele's eldest daughter, and she's going to actually feature in a documentary next year called Warriors of the Beautiful Game, which is a documentary again by Pele's daughter. So she's got friends in high places. Hopefully she's got a bit of that Pele magic in her boots.
Yeah, she'll be hoping for that today. Already made quite an impact, though.
We haven't seen too much of her yet. Adelaide, most of Adelaide play been in the wider areas, particularly down this left.
Kind of got a feel for Adelaide, don't you? Because they have been so resilient. But those early goals, well, they're not just coach killers, but they're really difficult for confidence, aren't they?
Oh, I mean, the fact that they've been involved in every game and they give up a goal so early, they're always chasing, aren't they? And they've always got to get themselves back into a match.
Oh, beautiful ball through from Fowler. Whistle's gone, the flag's up on the far side.
Adelaide getting a little bit of joy when they look to run in behind. Looks to be their best avenue so far. Dorber on that occasion. Lovely, again, way to pass from Mary Fowler. And good goalkeeping from Karmas.
Adelaide, of course, a couple of losses over the off-season. The key one, I suppose, being Emma Checker. So one went to Melbourne City, captain.
You look across the W League at some of the squads that have been assembled this year. Obviously, the likes of Melbourne City, Western Sydney Wanderers, and even Brisbane have got plenty of talent. And you know, I don't think it's unfair to say that Adelaide are probably just lacking that little bit of quality in compared to some of these other teams. And for them to be bottom of the table, but involved in every game, tight tussles. I think it was a 1-0 against Sydney FC, 2-1 against the Wanderers.
Probably should have got a point last week.
Yeah, the sides at the top of the table, they're not far away. It's just maybe that bit of confidence.
Julia Ashley Not finding a red shirt on the other end of that, but the Ashley Brooks pairing in the centre of defence, that's relatively experienced, the two Americans.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they both played at a very, very high level. A lot of experience, as you mentioned, but, you know, they're the ones that need to be teaching some of these more young, inexperienced players.
Simone Charlie showing her experience. Cuts back for Torsness. It's put it away.
I'll tell you what, that's a big chance. It didn't look like much. It came out of nothing, but that's a free strike on the edge of the 6-yard box for Torsness. Great work from Charlie out wide, too strong. Floats in a little bit of a cross. Not cleared away well enough. And as that's helped back in, Torsness, you just think if she gets any type of connection, it's probably 2-0.
Well, she knows how to find the goal, does Elise Torsness, the Norwegian, of course, in her second stint with Canberra United. Some canny signings by Heather Garrick. Disappointed to have Katie Stengel out with that ankle injury.
Yeah, she's a big loss, obviously. One of the main avenues to goal, but we've got a pretty handy player in Torsness. 3 World Cups, I believe she's been to, so
exactly.
That experience, you can't buy that.
That was nice from Camilla to switch the play. Rest back in again. Hughes. Right back rolls it forward, hoping to find Charlie. Again, the work of Charlotte Grant.
Tough task for Grant coming into the starting 11 today and up against Charlie. 4 goals this season already.
Not an easy task. Orville back in for Torsness. Harried by Brooks. Pass a little bit short. Oh, and that's nice, right to the feet of Mary Fowler. Great control from Fowler. Fowler just one to beat. Still Mary Fowler switching feet. Fowler looking for an option. Perhaps a path through all these green bodies. Unfortunately, can't find one. Was a little bit all on her own there.
She did so well initially. Created the opportunity, and I thought she was just going to drop the shoulder at the last minute and go past Kurtz. She just got closed down. It was good defending in the end from Canberra. Kurtz held her up, and then they got back in good numbers and got plenty of bodies behind the ball, which forced Fowler back.
Kaylee Kurtz on the far side. Another turnover back with the Lady Reds.
Good defending from the referee. And with the new rules, if it hits the referee, the play stops. Drop ball, I believe. Well, there's no drop balls anymore either, so I think Adelaide will get this one back. This is the earlier chance from Fowler. Brought it down lovely. Lovely turn as well. Dropped the shoulder. I thought maybe she's just going to go past there. In the end, Kurtz and Rashard combined well to stop her from getting her strike away.
Adelaide again with a frustrating turnover. However, Canberra reply in kind. Amber Brooks picks it up, sends it back to Willisey to restart the play. Searching for options, all quite congested in the middle of the park here. Not a huge pitch here at the Modern Sports Complex. You've played here a few times, Robbie, correct?
Yeah, back in my younger days, this was my sort of my arch rival. Adelaide Blue Eagles home ground. I was playing for Adelaide City at the time, so I know this ground quite well. Players don't mind a small ground, less running. Well, certainly I didn't anyway.
I was going to say that was more telling about you, wasn't it? Tell you what, they won't mind it today. The smell of smoke is thick in the air, and you've got to wonder in such an aerobic sport.
Husey, get in the box.
Yeah, well, we saw Canberra during the week having to train indoors because of that smoke, and Adelaide 46 and 44 degrees during the week, so they had a couple of gym sessions as well.
Oh, Rosebucken tries to square it up. Oh, and still on for Canberra. Well done, Sarah Willisey. A huge challenge from Laura Hughes, bearing down on her.
Charlotte Grant did well as well, got her body across and protected it for the goalkeeper to come out.
The voice of Heather Garrick urging Simone Charlie on. Happy birthday, by the way, to Heather Garrick for yesterday.
She was talking about her presents from her team before the game.
Sure, we can show you a picture of the green scrunchie.
If we get a shot of her later, the green scrunchie was a gift from the girls.
Generous lot, aren't they? I think there was cake
more
involved,
than just a,
yes.
just a scrunchie.
I think she's pretty lucky if you've got a birthday close to Christmas. It usually involves some sort of joint present scenario.
Right, yeah. And like any good coach, I'm sure all she wants is the win today.
100%. It's quite an awkward week, isn't it? Not just that 4-day turnaround, but they don't travel till tomorrow, and then you've got Christmas in the middle.
Yeah, it's a difficult fixture, but obviously professional football, that's what it dishes up all over the world, and these girls are no different. They'll get back to Canberra late tomorrow, and then, as you say, they've got a home game against the Wanderers, I believe, on Boxing Day.
Yeah, that'll be a huge one. Now Webber here on the left. Desperate defending. Roast back in one of the players on a central contract. Most likely thanks to her late appearance in the Matildas squad at the Women's World Cup this year. Oh, that's nice from Fowler. Still from Fowler, goes from left to right. Can't keep hold.
Fowler's got fantastic feet, and as it opened up there, I thought that was the time to take the strike on. That's something that will come with experience, when to maybe take that and know that maybe this is the best look I'm going to get at it. She has got the ability to dribble past players, but there's just too many numbers there to be able to get through.
Camilla Hodson and Dorber in a tight tussle. Nialo there, cut in. Oh, it's palmed away by Sham Karmas. Desperate goalkeeping and perfectly executed.
Yeah, that ball was really fired across from Campagnale. Sharmas had to divert the ball away, and luckily for them, Webber wasn't able to get into that far post for a tap-in.
Charlotte Brown's throw finds Fowler. Carlia Hogg, formerly of Canberra United herself. Hodson on the far side. Oh, it's well left there.
It almost came off, didn't it? It didn't look like that was the pass intended for Dorber, but
I'm
just
not actually sure that
found its way through.
I think she was a bit surprised to receive it. Taruho headed away. Kaylee Kurtz at the ready. Adelaide on the attack again. Here's Webber. Oh, neat feet from Mallory Webber. Well, the shot is too high and a little wide, and in this wind it's probably not helped in its trajectory.
This is the earlier chance, I believe. Campagnale down that right-hand side and just swinging it in. Karmas deflecting that away. I'm not sure whether that would have dropped in or not. She certainly had to take action, and then this was Webber cutting in on her right. As you mentioned, Steph, just bending that one high and over the top. Comfortable. No threat to the goal.
She's been busy though, Mallory Webber. I think have to feel like something's coming. Carlia Hogg again. Both benches urging their sides to settle.
You'd think that Adelaide United would be maybe a bit low on confidence at that early goal again, maybe go into their shell, but
You'd never know, would you?
no, they're really on the front foot.
Canberra charging forward again. Heel from Torsness. Not where she intended. Comes off Dorber. It'll be a Canberra throw. Ricochets off Torsness. Not quite sure she knew too much about that.
Foul had come short, and just as she checked off to make the run in behind, Laisa Ruo played the ball to her feet, and just not on the same page on that occasion.
Adelaide having trouble getting out of this area. Aruho.
It's a fun one to say that, isn't it? Every time you go to say, you're never sure how it's going to come out.
Quite true. We'll just call her ladies.
When I had the interview with her, I got her to pronounce it maybe about 4 or 5 times, but it just doesn't roll off the tongue naturally, unfortunately for me.
What did you ultimately come up with?
Yeah, lace.
Oh. Well, she's seen plenty of the ball today, still looking for her first goal in the red shirt. "25 minutes gone on the clock here in Adelaide. Physical challenge from Torsnes, can't win the ball. Ashley to her compatriot. Simone Charlie racing in with pressure. Camilla thought she'd flicked it on to a teammate. It's back with Brooks. Now Grant. She's got a couple of options. Still Grant. She's going to run out of space. No, she's not. Or perhaps she did.
Oh, she's not happy with that. I thought she may have just been able to keep it in, but the linesman over on the far side with the flag up. See here, good tussle. Does the ball just creep out? Oh, I'm not sure. We see a lot of those ones where the ball looks out, but it's the whole of the ball needs to cross the line, and I dare say that may have still been in. Just some attention on the far side for Orgill. Physio's going to cross, and it was they handed her an energy drink or something like that. See on the top of the screen over by the corner flag there.
See if we can...
I hope this is not due to some smoke. I hope
no, this is an asthma puffer, I think.
Yeah, she's got an asthma puffer, which is not good signs.
As we mentioned a couple of times, the smell of smoke is thick in the air here, as you can imagine. Nice defensive work from Simone Charlie, dispossessing Grant. Rosbacken goes back into traffic, didn't give Laura Hughes too much of a chance. Aruho goes down. It'll be a free kick for the Lady Reds. Orgill back into the play.
Yeah, there's that shot of Orgill there. I saw the physio going around. She's obviously needed the puffer, which is not great. I mean, the smoke, to be honest, has cleared a little bit. Earlier we couldn't see the hills, which are, you know, only maybe 5 or 10 kilometres away, and they're quite clear now. So it has blown through with that breeze. Let's hope we don't see any more of that, and Nicola Orgill's okay to continue.
15 or so minutes left till these players can take a break out of the haze. Delivery from Hogg. Plenty of bodies there. I think it was Kurtz that got the final head on that. Camilla looks for a quick counter-attack. Nice work from Dorber to stop the danger.
Whether it was intended or not, it's probably a good foul. As much as we spoke about Camilla in the early stages, we probably haven't seen too much of her. Haven't seen her on the ball and dictating as much as probably what Canberra would like and what Heather Garriock would like to see.
Here the instructions from Garriock below us here in the technical area. Nice from Brooks. Aruyo.
I know you do see this with Brazilians. She just looks a little bit too relaxed at times. Just
laconic.
Yeah, maybe you just want to see that little bit more fight or a bit more strength on the ball. A couple of times just easily dispossessed.
A bit of pressure there for Webber to deal with. Does it nicely. And Grant can't get away from Simone Charlie, using her body to great effect. Isabella Bless calling the playback. Olivia Price with a few words. Asking for a yellow card by the looks of it.
Didn't look like there was too much in it to me.
Dobbs, just come in a little bit.
Actually quite lucky in this position. We can hear both sides' coaches giving out their instructions.
I'm not sure they're that thrilled about it.
Oh,
Wow.
that was solid, wasn't it?
Whoa.
That's good play from a central defender. That's what I like to see.
Lena Karma's overwhelmed.
No nonsense.
Now Emily Hodson. Fowler. Can't keep possession. Camilla, neat turn. Canberra on a roll here. Torsness. A little bit ahead of her player.
Yeah, Brooks had seen she'd gone early and just stopped her run, stepped up, let her run offside. It was well and truly offside there.
Looks like the physio's been
Maybe a blood nose.
called again. Correct. Kaylee Kurtz getting some attention now. The left-hand side of the back line for Canberra has been in the wars in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, lovely ball.
Beautiful ball through. Oh, Dorber thought she had it in there. Unbelievable. And it was Olivia Price to the rescue for Canberra. Something of nothing, really.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a hopeful ball forward, and I just expected Sham Khamis to come out and claim that. It was on the wind, and I thought she'd have every right to come and get it. Lovely ball forward. Looped over the top and just sat up beautifully for Dorber. She didn't quite connect with the strike. And in the end, Price gets back and clears it away. Another opportunity for Adelaide.
Plenty of height for Adelaide in the area. Lots of leaping bodies. It's headed down by Charlie. Cleared away by Torsness. And he comes back as far as Emily Hodson. Campagnale now. That was nice. Goes around Hughes. Arroyo.
Canberra still down to 10.
Hogg maybe a little bit too relaxed in her delivery. Hands possession back to Canberra, only temporarily. Campagnale into the area. And that ends that.
Yeah, Kurt's still down here getting plenty of attention.
Quite a lot of attention. Ice pack on the back of the neck and still trying to stem the blood nose.
Looks like she's got some tissues up that nose now.
Hopefully they managed to get her back out.
Heather Garriock just telling her players to drop back and just saying, you've got to realise we're a player down. We need to change the shape and get some numbers behind the ball and just make sure we don't concede while we're a player down.
Get some cover. That would be the last thing any coach wants.
Open up, Amber.
In the latter part of the first half, it is Canberra United leading by 1-0. Wonderful finish from Lena Karmas.
It was a fantastic strike from the edge of the area. Just think back, other than that chance and maybe the one that fell to Torsness on the edge of the area, Canberra United haven't really had too much. It's been a lot more opportunities for Adelaide in that front third, but
It's just that final touch, isn't it?
Yeah, story of their season so far.
Has been a challenge for Karlovic. He's got some youngsters, got quite a few that came through the NPL quite successfully and through academy football in South Australia. Brooks, Kalia Hogg. Hogg, of course, spent 4 seasons at Canberra United, one at Western Sydney Wanderers, now in her second with the Adelaide women. I think Karlovic will be relatively happy with this performance, apart from conceding the goal, of course. It's been somewhat resolute.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking with him yesterday, to be honest, and I just said, what's sort of the message? Are you changing anything up? And just let this one play on fire.
Fowler's there, winds up with a left foot, so close to Fowler, just past Sham Karmas's left hand upright, and Kurtz runs back onto the field as well.
That was, she spent a fair bit of time off the field, probably close to 5 minutes, but Mary Fowler again, she turns with ease. It looks so easy, and she's able to slip her defender. You see Lais with the ball into feet, little drop of the shoulder, left foot strike across the face. She shows plenty of signs.
Yep, we'll be seeing a lot more of Mary Fowler, I would imagine. In fact, I was speaking to Tom Samani, the former Matildas coach and current New Zealand coach, during the week, and he'd had a chance to watch her play, and he thinks she has the potential to be as good as, if not better than, Sam Kerr.
I mean, her early signs are obviously that she's got a lot of quality. It's obviously very, very early days, but, you know, give it a couple of years, and you might see her and Kerr up there together for the national team.
Oh, wouldn't that be a treat? Heck of a strike force.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes remaining in this first half, and Canberra try and hold on to possession. Charlie does, being chased by Campagnale and Grant. Still Charlie charging ahead. Still Charlie. Oh, dealt with beautifully by Willisey.
Yeah, great pace from Charlie. Just got across the front of Grant and was able to streak away. I had sort of a flashback to last week against Perth Glory when she cut in onto her left foot, and I thought she might go for that far corner. Oh, a little bit of...
Oh, a bit physical there between Rosbacken, who picks up a yellow for her troubles, and Mallory Webber.
Bit of spice.
Certainly was. Bless asked for play to be held up. Take another look.
Yeah, Campagnale and Grant giving chase. Charlie just too powerful. You can see cuts in on this left, and last week that went into the far corner. Went for the near post this time, and good save from Willisey low down. This is a hugely important game for Canberra. If they want to stay in touch with that top three, City, Western Sydney and Sydney FC, they need to take all 3 points here today.
Certainly do. Adelaide, of course, with a game in hand. They had the bye. But they're craving a point.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, if they get the 3 points and with that game in hand, you know, they're still a little way back, but they're not completely out of it. Huge game for both sides.
Webber. Again looking for Fowler. Let's rush out to the rescue. Experienced play from Lena Karmas to no avail. Now Dorber. Centrally for Hogg. Hogg has spotted Fowler, but so too has Rashard.
Too straight. It's a straight ball into feet. And that's what you want as a defender. You can easily put pressure on there and quite comfortably win the ball.
Karmas's ball beats Hughes. It's back with Adelaide. And just as quickly returns to Camilla for Canberra. Kurtz. Oh, that's well beyond Torsness. So you mentioned the table. It's Canberra on 7 points in 4th. They have a +1 or now +2 goal difference. Brisbane on 7 also on -1. But Canberra are 5 points adrift of Sydney in 3rd. Now Webber. Adelaide look to level up the scores before the break. Webber cuts back. Thought initially it was fumbled by Karmas, but no. Confident clears away now with Camilla.
Rossbacken on a yellow card, and Webber a couple of times now when she's isolated her, she's been able to beat her. It's going to be an interesting battle, and you can see Heather Garriock having a bit of a chat to Rossbacken there, just telling her to push on. No advice in terms of her defending just yet, but it's a good outlet for Adelaide.
Yeah, asking Carly Rossbacken to get further up the field. Onto the head of Amber Brooks. And eventually away by Webber. Rossbacken's throw eventually ends up with Charlie Hughes. Oh, it's a nice ball for Simone Charlie. Charlie squares it up, punched away by Willisey. Hughes is there. And Too many red shirts surrounding that one, and what a cheap turnover. That's disappointing from Adelaide.
Oh, the counter-attack was on. They had numbers forward. I think it was Dorba on the right-hand side, maybe. They just turned it over far too easily.
And Camilla manages to make meters, now trapped in the corner. Hemmed in by Hodgson and Dorba.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite far away from here, but it looked a little bit soft, that free kick. I thought, you know, she was up against it. She did extremely well, Camilla. And in the end, it's probably a silly foul for Adelaide to give away. Set up now, probably. Oh, it's a throw-in, no wonder. There you go. I'll be here all game.
It's going to be a long afternoon, Robbie.
Yeah. I suppose the question for Ivan Karlovic is what message can he give to his players at half-time? I suppose it's just about keeping the morale up, because they're doing everything right. Of course, he'd like to see maybe some of the decisions a little bit better, but you know, I'd be saying to get the ball into these wide areas, particularly to Weber, and then that allows more space for Fowler through the middle.
Do you think they're looking for Fowler too much?
I think when they look for Fowler, I'd like to see Lais Arujo coming underneath and maybe just getting that bounce back and facing forward, because every time Fowler gets the ball, it's back to goal. She has to twist and turn all herself.
Now Rosebacken, well, puts it forward. Probably more of a cross than a shot. Karmas wasn't quite sure she was meant to be going for that. Either way, it's back with Adelaide. Lace. Oh, that's a lovely ball. A little bit beyond Fowler. Is she going to be outrun by Rashard? Oh, that's great work.
Fantastic defending from Rashard. Showed fantastic speed.
Great control now, Fowler. Goes back to Lais, tries to play the 1-2.
Lais just has to realise how much time she's got there and put her foot on it. She's trying to play it first time, when she could have maybe out of touch and taken on the strike, or drawn a defender and looked to play someone in then.
3 or 4 minutes remaining before the half-time whistle will go. Adelaide have been putting plenty of pressure on this goal, and they go again. Oh, a bit of confusion, and Dorba thought that's her second close chance in about 10 or less minutes.
It was a tough one. She made a darting run to the near post, and it came in at an awkward height, chest high. Not sure whether she tried to chest that in or whether the ball just hit her, but it was good overlapping run on that far side. Ball whipped into the near post. Yeah, I'm not sure if she's trying to maybe use her chest and guide that one home or not, but another opening for Adelaide. First time we've probably seen that sort of combination down the right-hand side, with Hodgson getting forward.
Yeah, seemed to work well, and Charlie darting away. Look at the control of Simone Charlie.
Rides a couple of challenges.
Superb from the American. Still Charlie. Well, evades Hogg only temporarily, and yeah, she does have a bit of a trip. It was over Charlotte Grant, but it's now Mallory Weber on the run. She can't control. Yes, she can. That's beautifully done by Weber. Lais has options. She winds up, but it's denied by Kaylee Kurtz.
I don't mind her taking the strike on from there. Everything got very, very narrow in front of her, and it would have been difficult to slip a ball through. Wasn't much support coming from behind. It's good to see Hogg back up as well after that knock to the knee.
Orgel running freely after the requirement for an asthma puffer. And that's laid nicely for Charlie, but all too easy for Willisey. Torsness almost took out the back of the net. Charging through.
Willisey had to come for that. Torsness was about to latch onto it. She's come well for her crosses and off her line today, Sarah Willisey.
Camilla centrally for Karmas. Karmas calling for Charlie to make a run. Charlie pushed to the ground, asking for the whistle. No joy, says Bless. Oh, this is a lovely run for Grant, getting loads of space in the middle of the park.
Again, just not enough support. Need someone really getting on their bike, busting a gut to get forward and giving an option, because She only had Fowler 1 against 3. And after a 40, 50-yard run, she couldn't go much further. She wanted to get rid of it.
So what do you think Heather Garriock's message will be? I mean, they've got the 1-goal cushion. Be happy with a couple more, I would suspect.
Yeah, I think she'll be relatively pleased because Adelaide's had some opportunities, and if they're able to go in at the break 1-0 up, I think she'll be delighted. But certainly she'll want to tighten things up at the back, and going forward maybe just clean up some of their passing. And a couple of times they've given it away a little bit cheaply, but as the half wore on, this girl Charlie's just come more and more into it. Good defending from Grant.
Plenty of possession, Simone Charlie. She's been an inspired signing.
Oh, she's been fantastic.
4 goals in 5 games.
And you can see why she's been successful, because she's so quick, she's strong on the ball, and she's got a good dribbling technique. We've seen already this season her finishing's quite good as well. She had just the 1 chance today.
Loan from the Portland Thorns.
It's a long throw coming up.
Kaylee Kurtz called on. It's a good throw. It's headed down as 1 minute is added to the clock. Hughes has a shot, not too much power on that, and straight on into the guts of Sarah Willisey. Nothing too difficult for the Adelaide United keeper. Certainly been kept plenty busy, as have both. There's been a lot of end-to-end action in this half.
Tell you what, the engines on this left-hand side, Charlie and Grant. I'd like to see how they are going towards the end of the game.
Yeah, Webber's picked up a knock in that last challenge. Collision with Lena Karmas.
Holding her ribs there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, maybe just winded.
Canberra doctors at the ready once more. Their medical team's certainly been the busiest.
Karmas looked quite frustrated as that ball went over the line. Maybe a sign that Canberra United is not completely happy with his first half. That was solid, really solid coming across.
It's a nice diplomatic way to describe that.
Yeah, she's up and about.
Lena Karmas does like a solid challenge.
Another cheap giveaway.
There have been far too many of them on both sides, as Isabella Bless says. That's enough for the first 45. Players go in, hopefully to get some clear air indoors and sum up all the action from the first half. What did you make of that, Robbie Cornthwaite?
Oh, I thought it was an entertaining first half. I think Adelaide United have showed that they've still got some confidence and belief in their side. More than enough openings, but at some point you've got to have to start scoring these chances. It's been the story of their season. Canberra, on the other hand, I think they'll be happy to go in a goal in front, but certainly improvements to be made from both sides.
Yeah, well, half-time here at Martin Sports Complex. It is Adelaide United 0, Canberra United 1. Stay with us after the break. We'll have all the goals and sum up all the first half action. See you soon.
Proud supporters of women's football and the official partner of the Westfield W League. Westfield unites local football communities by connecting fans to the game. She's got incredible skills, she's got impressive plays, she's got game. Are you ready for it? As a proud partner of the Westfield W League, Taylor Dyer. Ali Miniru, perfect introductory program for girls and boys aged between 4 and 9 years old. Each session is it's a fun and safe environment for your future Westfield W League stars. Find a program near you by heading to www.miniroos.com.au.
Well, welcome back to Martin Sports Complex in Adelaide, where it is Canberra United leading the home side by 1-0, thanks to Lena Karmas. Robbie Cornflate has enjoyed the first half action with me, and plenty of chances for both sides in, well, you'd have to say, quite honestly, hazy conditions through that half.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, at one stage, was not getting a little bit dicey. I don't want to say that, but there was plenty of smoke around. But there was a bit of a breeze has come through, and now it's cleared right up. I can say that most of that smoke has disappeared, thankfully.
Indeed. Well, it was all pretty much level pegging for a portion of that half, and then Lena Karmas fired into action for Canberra United, her 42nd goal in the W League, and it was a sweet finish.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just found a bit of space in between the two centre halves of Adelaide United, which they'll be disappointed with. Neither of them marking. Amber Brooks looking to cut that out, but Karmas with a wonderful strike, gets the first touch in front of her, and then just absolutely thumps it into that top corner. Sarah Willisey with no chance of stopping that.
Yeah, puts Lena Karmas 5th in the all-time scoring charts for the W League, and that's her 8th against Adelaide, so she certainly likes scoring against them. There's been some decent challenges up and down the field, and both sides have had their chances. I've really enjoyed watching Mary Fowler. It's the first time I've seen her live this season, and wow, she is a talent.
Oh, she certainly is. I think the impressive thing is how comfortable she looks on the ball. She never really looks flustered, and she sort of sums up every situation quite well. This was a good opening where I thought she might drop the shoulder and go past Rashard, but her and Kurtz combined well to snuff out the chance. I think the big thing for me in that first half with Fowler, she needs more support, she needs a bit of help, and you know, there's times where maybe she can just lay a ball off and run into the box, receive a cross, and just finish rather than having to do everything herself.
Extraordinary composure though for a 16-year-old, and you can only imagine with the experience she's going to build. She has had plenty of support though. Mallory Webber, the American over here from the Utah Royals, she's already had a goal this season, but she's just got these excellent technical and dribbling skills, and she's been quite a force down the left wing for Adelaide.
Yeah, she's been a fantastic outlet. She's got into scoring positions and shooting positions on a number of occasions. She's given a good test for Rossbakken, and she's been so good at this, dropping the shoulder, cutting in onto her right foot. I think it was 2 or 3 occasions she managed to do that. Tested the keeper, Carmiss, on another occasion. And if I was the Adelaide United coach, I'd be saying, let's get the ball as much as we can out wide to Webber.
Yeah, indeed, and I think they'll be discussing exactly that in the Adelaide dressing room at the moment. For Canberra, though, we know how desperate they are to take 3 points today. I don't think Heather Garrick would be happy to even share the points in this one, with so many important matches ahead of them and a fast turnaround before they take on the Wanderers on during the week next week. But for Canberra, I think we've seen Camilla in patches being quite dominant in possession.
Yeah, in that middle of that park, and I think that's probably where Canberra United have been slightly on top of Adelaide in the centre of the park. The 3 in the middle, Price, Camilla and Carmiss, have probably been stronger, and this is what she's good at, keeping the ball in tight, drawing free kicks, winning fouls. She drifted in and out of that first half, to be honest. I think I'd like to see maybe a little bit more of her on the ball as much as we can, but she's certainly got a lot of talent. We know she leads the league in balls into the penalty area, in fouls won, and she's a dangerous player. Adelaide will want to keep her quiet in this second half.
Yeah, she sure is. The Brazilian, of course, has had a big year. She was part of the Brazilian squad at the World Cup in France, over here on a 1-year loan from Orlando Pride. But she's been a huge asset to Heather Garriock's team, really, as has. And the name we've mentioned, I think, the most, pretty much every 30 seconds, has been Simone Charlie. She's been extraordinary this half, and I'm still wondering why she doesn't have a goal yet.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the best chance that came to her. She got wrong-sided Grant, went past Brooks as well. And as I mentioned during the call, on her left foot, I thought she'd be able to find the back of the net from there. She put in some good crosses as well. Willisey's done really, really well to come out and relieve the pressure for her team. And I have to say, it's been on this near side in front of our commentary box, but her battle with Charlotte Grant, it's been one of the features of that first half. Good tackle from Grant. And as good as Charlie's been, Charlotte Grant stuck to the task, and really it's been a fantastic battle, and long may it continue.
Exactly, it sure has. Charlotte Grant, of course, she's only 18, and we mentioned the youngsters in this Adelaide side, and she was a star of the NTC setup, one female rising star and player of the year. She's been in the Future Matildas and Young Matildas. And she's another one to watch for the future. In fact, Adelaide's got a lot of those sorts of players. I think the key for Adelaide United is perhaps holding on to them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always been the case. I mean, most recently, Emma Checker was one who spent some time here in Adelaide and now moved on. There's Christian Opseth, the Adelaide United striker, the Norwegian striker, maybe here supporting some of his fellow countrymen, if I can say that. We've got Norwegian striker in Torsten up front, and I think that was his girlfriend who also played professional football in Norway. So good to see him out here supporting the girls. Good
Norwegian connection. Yeah, there's a smattering crowd. You can imagine with the weather conditions here in Adelaide that it's being outdoors at the moment is not as nice as it could be, but some loyal supporters here for the women's team, and they'll have had a bit to chat about at the break, and we'll be hoping for a positive start. I think an early goal for them would make all the difference, right?
Yeah, I think that's what...
stating the bleeding obvious.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what they want, but we'll have to wait and see in the second half.
Certainly will. Well, don't go away. That second half coming up very soon.
Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is studio speaking to us?
No, yep, currently testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So I was a question about what she thought of the first half, and then you can ask her whatever you want. If you've got another one, just flag with me.
Let's welcome back both teams, Canberra United and Adelaide United.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, the coach. How are you?
Hello, Coach Funky.
Your scrunchie is just actually reflecting green light into our comms area. It looks very pretty.
I'm glad you're making me laugh.
If I say to you during the actual interview, turn around and say hello, don't be rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
So we'll start with a generic from me, H, and then Robbie will jump in.
Yeah, sure.
Anything you want to talk about, Heather?
Oh, no, just ask me what you think tactically.
Did you make a change?
No.
No, cool.
No. Not yet.
Oh, Moya Dodd's here.
Oh, great. Riveting.
Actually, she isn't. She's in Adelaide.
Apparently.
$30 to us, H.
No worries.
Well, with the second half about to get underway here in Adelaide, it's Canberra United who are leading by a goal to nil. And as we wait for Isabella Bless to blow her whistle, we do have the Canberra United coach who's been good enough to give us a few minutes of her time. Firstly, happy birthday, Heather Garriock, and tell us if you thought that first half from your ladies was a decent present.
Yeah, look, I think it's great that we got in front from a transition play. I think we did really, really well there. But I just felt that Adelaide United got in behind us a little bit too much. We know how good Mary Fowler is, and she's just prolific. So we just need to stop her. I thought the two centre-backs did that really well, especially in that first half. But Adelaide threatened us quite a few times, which I wasn't happy with.
Heather, you mentioned there they got in behind, and the fact that you've got a short turnaround, and are we expecting to see your side maybe sit back a little bit more in this second half?
No, Heather Garriock's side sits back. Absolutely not. No, we're going to go for it. Of course we're going to go for it. We've got some creative players and talented players up top, including this one in particular, our Brazilian. So, yeah, I just think it's really important that we go for it for sure.
Camilla, obviously, you just mentioned any chat at half-time, maybe to get her involved a little bit more in that front third?
Yeah, I think her and Elisa need to get involved a little bit more, but it's about passing the ball quicker and being able to change a point of attack quickly, and I just don't think we did that. I think we were very one-dimensional in the first half, so we need to change that.
Heather Garriock, thanks for your time and all the best for the second half.
Thank you.
Heather Garriock, coach of Canberra United, generous enough to give us a few minutes after the break. What did you make of her summation, Robbie?
Oh, I like the fact that she said she wasn't going to sit back. Away from home, 1-0 up at half-time. As I mentioned, short turnaround. You know, it may be easy just to just go back into your shell a little bit and try to protect your lead, but you know, sometimes, as we know, the best form of defence is attack, and if you can get that second goal, it can really, you know, consolidate the 3 points. So let's hope to see some more attacking football.
Emily Hodgson pushes forward for Dorber. She's got to be quick to run that down. Manages to, but can't quite wrap her foot around it to bring it back into play.
That really raced away. I thought that wasn't too bad an option there from Hodgson. Just unable to get there before it crossed over the byline. But Adelaide United started on the front foot this opening couple of minutes, which they did in the first half, and then they conceded. So they've really got to be careful at the back because they're well and truly in this game.
You got to move, Nick.
Kurtz back to Rashart. In fact, I'm pleased Rashart's here. She's already mother to 2-year-old Tristan, but I believe a second child. Her partner's expecting to deliver in early January, so...
That's an exciting Christmas for them.
Certainly will be. Hopefully they got a home match when that happens.
It's always an interesting thing when you're a player and you're expecting.
Did you make any mad dashes?
I did. My wife gave birth in Adelaide and I was in Malaysia, and I caught an overnight flight and I got back, went straight to the hospital and made it just in time.
You made it?
I made it with a few hours to spare.
That's a long way, but that's horrible.
Yeah. I didn't know when I landed whether I was going to have a daughter or not yet.
It's always nice to know that you've made it, so all the best to Jessie and her partner for the new arrival. Off the head of Lena Karmas. Ogle pushed over. Too much in that from Arujo. No changes from either side at the half-time break as Camilla edges closer. Nice footwork from the Brazilian. Turns, manages to lose Hodgson initially. Adelaide recover. Crossed into no one in particular from Camilla. And it's Hogg that ends up putting a long ball down the field for Adelaide. Fowler can't get hold of that. Rashard sends it high. Brooks with the header. A little bit aimless right now. A bit of control probably desired by both coaches.
Yeah, just got a little bit scrappy at the start of the second half. Just need to put your foot on it. You don't have to go forward all the time, obviously. Try to retain the possession and look for an opening. Charlie in behind.
Yeah, nice again from Simone Charlie. That battle with Grant is probably set to continue well into this half, I would think.
Yeah, Grant frustrated there. She thought she'd done enough to win the goal kick. Early corner in this second half for Canberra United. I spoke about the delivery of Camilla has been quite good this season. Centre half you mentioned before. Rashard coming forward as well. Torseness, of course, got some good height.
Charlie at the ready, right in front of Willisey. I think most of Charlie's height is the hairdo. She's been very close to scoring already. Will this be her moment? Delivery in from Camilla. It was nice, it was well placed. Back with Nick Ogle. Ogle puts it back into the mix, and no real intent on that second header from Kaylee Kurtz.
That first ball in from Camilla was lovely into that near post. Ball coming out to Price here. She just tries to feed it back in. Too flat. Not much you can really do with that.
Rest back and
what's been noticeable early is Nicola Orgill, how high she is as a left back. Got this rotation. She's almost playing as a striker at the moment as Camilla dropped in. Ball given away.
Good ability and affects the turnover. Nice work from Orgill. Camilla. Space down this near side. Hogg running in to close her down. Let's put it at the feet of Elise Torsness. But the offside flag has gone up.
Be interesting to see that one again.
Yeah, we will no doubt get another look at that. Looked pretty good from this angle.
Looked tight. Heather Garriott was pretty sure that was onside. Have another look here. Camilla gets her head up. Oh, it's very difficult to tell without seeing the full picture. It would have been tight. Maybe just straying offside. Give the referee's assistant the benefit there.
A chance now for Adelaide as red shirts stream forward. Again, the lack of a clinical final touch, although it's up and over. Dorba is always there or thereabouts at these goal-scoring opportunities, and that one just not dropping for her.
Oh, she took up a great position, Grant, with the ball in. If I'm super critical, she's probably in there a little bit too early, and she's jumping straight up instead of running on and meeting that ball. You'd expect her to do just a little bit better.
Perhaps a little bit static. Canberra now trying to actually lose position from Dorba, who we were just talking about. That wasn't static at all. She came tearing up to dispossess Orgill. I beg your pardon, Olivia Price. It's my eyesight. Can I blame it on the smoke?
Just wonder what the Adelaide United boss Karlovic had to say at half-time. Keeping them positive, obviously, but as I mentioned, Lais already pressing higher in this second half. I'd just like to see her a little bit closer to Fowler. She's the most advanced midfielder. When that ball goes into Fowler, she needs to be an option coming underneath. If that ball gets dropped back, then she can spray it out wide. She can play through balls for other teammates, or take the strike on and ask a few more questions of this Canberra United defence.
Karmas, the goal scorer. Camilla. This is Orgel. Nick Orgel cuts back. Oh, that was almost a second for Lena Karmas. Wouldn't she have enjoyed that?
Certainly would have. Bit of an overload on this left-hand side for Canberra. Camilla slipping it into Orgel. Good first touch, cuts it back. Karmas looks as though it just hit Amber Brooks and took all the pace off of it.
Hogg rolls it back for Amber Brooks. Ho. And Adelaide a little bit flat-footed in this front third, starting to move now. Grant charging up. Managed to evade the defenders. Now Fowler trying to force her way through traffic. Dorber calling for it. Fowler saw she was going to be offside and tracked back.
Oh, Adelaide have left themselves short at the back.
Nice turnover there, and it's Elise Torsness that's off and running. She's got Charlie charging into support, and well, that was a beautiful piece of defending.
Yeah, Julie Ashley did really, really well there. As Torsness just got her head up to look to pick a pass. The touch was a little bit heavy, and opportunity seized upon by Ashley.
Kept in by Orgel on this side to Camilla. Now to Price. Charlie, neat flick over the top. Orgel in, headed down by Hogg. Back with Nicola Orgel, and, well, it's Hogg that ultimately wins that particular battle. Kalia Hogg's been pretty much everywhere this game.
That's what you want from your defensive midfielder. Certainly as a defender, you want that screening player in front of you. You want them winning challenges, and you want them dropping in and lending support when needed, and she's done that well. I really like Charlotte Grant on that left-hand side. She's got a bit of Ellie Carpenter about her.
Certainly does, and it's Mallory Webber in possession now, trying to effect some sort of attack. Now back with Grant. Considers her options, does get it into Mary Fowler, but Kaylee Kurtz was well up to that particular danger.
And they just got to be careful when they do commit numbers forward. They don't leave themselves short of the back. Torsness in a good position here.
And nice work from Simone Charlie. Lena Karmas back to Charlie. Two working well together and then getting in each other's way. Karmas again. Torsness charging in, and Willisey, great goalkeeping work.
Yeah, she's reliable, Willisey. She's off her line quickly. She's got good turn of speed and good acceleration. Little 1-2, inadvertent 1-2. Karmas with the through ball. Torsness just couldn't get there before the keeper.
Got a feel for Sarah Willisey. She's she's had the most clean sheets of any Adelaide United keeper in W League history, and she's consistently making impressive saves, and I guess it must be quite frustrating for her to do the other end when they're not going in.
Oh, certainly. I mean, I've played in teams where you go through periods and you can't score, and as a defender and a goalkeeper, it's so frustrating, but you can't let that get to you. You've got to keep switched on, because the moment you get frustrated and start thinking about other things is when you start making mistakes yourself. So I caught up with Sarah when she was here with the Matildas. I think it was her first camp against Chile.
Certainly was.
She's certainly getting noticed in recent times.
You got some pretty good goalkeeping stocks in the women.
Certainly do.
Yeah, Sarah Willisey included for the first time for those two Chile friendlies. Of course, she's played with both Adelaide City and West Adelaide in the WMPL here. Charlie manages to bring it down initially, can't quite control. It's Julia Ashley. playing for Linköping in Sweden now. Had opportunities in the States and opted for Europe. Arujo. Plays Arujo again. Nice work, Lena Karmas. Nips in and picks a pocket. Ashley says that'll be enough. Take it back our way. Now Brooks. Amber Brooks asking a little too much of Mary Fowler. Rushart with the recovery. Price. A little bit too anxious to get that long ball up the park.
Yeah, you can just see the game settling into a real pattern now. Adelaide United with most of the possession, looking to get the ball forward, and as soon as it's turned over, Canberra United looking to spring that counter-attack really, really quickly. Whether it's by design or not, that's the way things are unfolding. If Canberra are just a little bit more patient, they're going to get opportunities without a doubt.
Yeah, watching this game, would you think that Adelaide was the side trailing?
No, they certainly got most of the play at the moment, but it's what they do with it. We haven't probably seen as much of Mary Fowler in this opening 15 minutes of the second half either. Canberra have done well to contain her.
Getting our first change of the match, it's Georgia Campagnale that's going to make way. Emily Condon coming on, 21-year-old. She's also had a cap for the Matildas. This is her 6th season with Adelaide United, and she is the most experienced player. She's got the most experience of any player in this current squad.
That's not a bad player to call upon then, is it, when you need a bit of experience and maybe a goal? I thought Georgia Campagnale's first half was pretty solid. She didn't do too much wrong, but obviously when you're trailing, you need to make changes.
Kurtz and Lace.
Well done, KK.
Hear the shouts from Karlovic, encouraging Kaylee Kurtz on. On for Adelaide here, but it's going to be belted to safety by Kaylee Kurtz. Camilla waits for it to roll on. Now Rostbakken. Charlie. Oh, we've got some numbers coming forward. Simone Charlie, still with Charlie. Rebounds off Hogg, still Charlie. Karmas is there, she's waiting. Back for Hughes. Rostbakken again. Camilla. Goes again for Rostbakken.
Oh, looked as though
that looked like it was going to edge on the right side of the post.
Yeah, it looked as though that come off the outside of the post. Initial play from Canberra was very encouraging. Neat little 1-2 here. Flashed at that near post. I'm not sure whether it's just caught the outside of the upright. Canberra with a little bit more sustained possession in that front third. Again, it was Hogg in the first phase who got back and gave cover. Was able to block the shot of Charlie.
Karmas again. Hughes, neat little dink over the top. That almost dropped very favourably for Charlie. Instead, she's picked up a yellow.
Again, Willisey so quick off her line. It was definitely a foul in there, to be honest. I thought Charlie definitely fouled Willisey. Yellow card or not, I'm not sure. We'll have to have another look.
We'll get
See
one
here,
now.
look how quickly she's off her line. Very brave, and I think Charlie just leaving her boot in. She's got every right to go for it. Maybe the stud's slightly up, I'm not sure. Just catching her on the arm. Referee obviously deems that one a yellow.
Still catching her breath, Simone Charlie.
A little bit of a team meeting going on now for Adelaide United in the middle of their defensive half.
I tell you that the rest of the players have run over for a quick drink. Air seems to have cleared somewhat, but you can still smell an awful lot of smoke around as the next change comes on. Now it's Isabel Hodgson. Makes her way into the fray.
Dorber can be relatively pleased with her performance, I think.
Yeah, I think she's been solid.
Yeah, the only thing missing, obviously, is that
goal.
finishing touch, yeah, which is the most important, but something for her to build on.
Minor point. No, certainly involved in a lot of the action. Her positioning has been quite good.
Yeah, taking up good positions in the penalty area in particular. Worked hard defensively too. With these fresh legs now, Canberra United yet to make a change.
Nice foray in from Mallory Webber. Hasn't been as busy so far in this half as she was earlier.
No, I mean, we heard Heather Garriock speaking about the fact she thought Adelaide got in behind too many times, and you have to say Canberra have probably corrected that. Weber and Fowler probably not sided or as dangerous in this opening 20 minutes of the second half.
Corner for Adelaide, delivered from the far side. Plenty of bodies there, brought down by Brooks, who has a crack. Oh, it looked like that might have almost come off the crossbar.
I'm not sure about that. I think it might have just flashed across the face. Have another look. It's a tough one because it's once she has her first touch, the ball's taken up into the air and she almost slices it, I thought, with the outside of her left foot. Back across the face and...
Oh, I thought it took a deflection. I'll pay you that one.
I think she was going for goal. But as I mentioned, difficult chance to find the target.
Lace.
It's a bit loose. Hogg again.
Pass Condon was after, but
Offside.
saved and flags up already. Feels like it's been a little bit more disjointed, perhaps, from Adelaide, but the performance overall, it's been one of the most solid we've seen from them this season.
Oh, certainly. I think they can be pleased with their performance, but at the end of the day, it's round 6 and 5th game for them, and they haven't got any points on the board. So the performance slowly becomes irrelative, and the result becomes the thing that you need. Of course, good performance, you've got a more chance of getting a good result, but this second half, I think they're actually doing okay. It's more Canberra is defending really well and sort of snuffing anything out that Adelaide offer.
We spoke about how difficult the next week is going to be for Canberra, but Adelaide United have Sydney FC away, which is no easy feat either. They'll be in Kogarah next weekend. And, that'll be another tough challenge for them.
Certainly will. The thing with Adelaide is they've got a little bit more of a break, but you don't want to be going into that Christmas period and that longer break off the back of another loss.
Did you get Christmas Day off as a player?
I trained a lot of Christmas days. I think I had a couple off. Actually moved my Christmas to Christmas Eve to make it a little bit easier for me and my family. Yeah. But I'm off this Christmas.
Good to hear. Just hope it's all calm on the weather front up your way. Now Hoggers. Adelaide contemplate another foray forward. Race back and looking to deny. Gets there.
Just as that ball breaks forward, Lais is in such a deep position, almost the deepest midfielder. She needs to start taking a few more risks. I know she's a bit deeper now that Condon's come on.
That ball put on the other side of the grandstand here at Martin Sports Complex. Handful of vocal fans in the house, hoping to see Adelaide United's first points.
Got some work to do, don't they? Still plenty of time. Still got that one substitution up their sleeve as well. Players start to tire in this difficult conditions. Usually more spaces will start to open up.
It's going to be Canberra who make the next substitution. And it is Laura Hughes that makes way for Hayley Taylor-Young. Maybe Heather Garrick's looking for some more goals now. She is taking off a midfielder and bringing on a forward who a lot of people have compared Taylor-Young a little bit like Ash Sykes. She's, of course, come through the Canberra United pathway. She had a breakout season with the Academy in 2019. Joint Golden Boot winner in Capital Football's NPLW competition. 30 goals at 17 games. That's an extraordinary stat. 2
a game, isn't it? It's ridiculous. So she knows how to find the back of the net. She'll be hoping for a couple of chances.
Oh, that's a nice ball in for Adelaide. That looked very dangerous indeed. Isabel Hodgson was almost on the end of it, close, but not quite close enough.
First time we've seen Weber in any sort of space in the second half, and it's a good leap, but just a little bit too much air on that ball. Unable to get on the end of it.
Isabella Bless is having words to Kaylee Kurtz as that nose started bleeding again.
Yeah, maybe. Might be time for a new tissue. Doesn't seem to be causing her any discomfort, which is good.
Now Fowler. Well dealt with by Canberra, but only as far as Hogg. How many times have we said that this particular match?
Yep, she's just always where she needs to be. Good tackle from Karmas.
Great work from Karmas. Ashley. Now Brooks. Adelaide desperately searching for options. Plenty of red shirts forward. It's going to find that delivery.
Good flick. You can hear the groans from the fans.
So you can see it unfolding in front of you, can't you? As Canberra still with 10. Kurtz continues to wrap up her treatment. Oh no, this is nice for Adelaide. Real chance here. Cute back heel. Ashley in position. Rolls it forward. Fowler. Still Fowler. Considers the shot. Probably not the best option, but could see the frustration.
Yeah, there's just so many sort of half openings for Adelaide. Ashley, the centre half, was forward. Ball prodded forward, and then Fowler loses her marker. Couple of feints. Good defending again, able to get the block in.
Another corner for Adelaide. Plenty of players at the ready. Deliveries high and wide. Bit of a scramble in the goal mouth. And the danger is saved as Canberra stream away. That one lands very favourably for Karmas, who, quite sure who she was looking for. Perhaps Camilla on the far side. Ariho. Hear the calls of time coming from the sideline.
Thought she may have been offside there, but obviously wasn't.
Hodgson can't get through. Then another cheap turnover for Canberra United. Adelaide having plenty of possession. Hogg. Now Ashley. Oof. Almost straight into the head of Charlie.
Maybe suffering with a bit of cramp. Charlie's gone down now in the centre of the park.
Holding her leg. They do have Kurtz back on, so they've got their full complement. Now it's Camilla. Rashart, and the ball is rolled away for a stop in play. Charlie receiving some treatment.
Where's the doctor, Sarah?
Interesting to see the referee stop it for what looked to be cramp initially. You don't often see that. Usually it's a head injury. In these tough conditions, maybe deciding to err on the side of caution. Everyone coming across now to grab a drink. Kurtz with blood still streaming from her nose as well.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to
doesn't want to stop.
Stemmed. Good opportunity for her to receive that treatment. Doctor's very busy. Charlie looks like she's in quite a bit of pain, actually.
It's just when she jumped to try to intercept that switch of play, I think maybe just got a touch on. She landed, it wasn't an awkward landing, it was a tired landing, and then she almost just decided to go down. You might see a replay here. You see her in the centre of park, she flicks it on, and then, I mean, the way they were stretching it once they came on, it looks as though it was just cramp. Hopefully nothing too serious. Looks like a little bit of a buckle of the left knee. Straight to the bench.
Heather Garriock considering her options.
She's stretching it out, so you would hope it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see her back on the park soon. Also the option, of course, of Ashley Crofts and Lauren Keir on the Canberra bench. So we wait for play to resume. Only 9 on the park for Canberra. I wonder if Adelaide can capitalise on that. We've still got Kurtz receiving attention on her nose. And Simone Charlie stretching out. The leg ailment is challenging her at the moment, so let's watch how Canberra adapt to this.
Yeah, obviously Charlie's one of your key players and so dangerous on the break, but if she's struggling with 15 minutes to go, 1-0 up away from home, I'd be seriously considering a change. Heather Garriock just having a bit of a chat with her now. Looks as though she's going to be okay to continue, and Kurtz has had to have a change of shirt as well, because
that nose is still going too.
It just will not stop.
Well, back underway.
Be aware, yeah? Be aware.
If you've just joined us, welcome to Adelaide. It's all been happening here, and we have a situation where Canberra have 10 now. Simone Charlie back on the pitch, and they do lead by a goal to 0 after that Lena Karmas first half goal. Well, it's a long shot from Adelaide. Oh, it's almost there for Isabel Hodgson. It was a good thought, decent thought, and I can tell you that Kaylee Kurtz in front of our commentary area is getting quite an incredible amount of strapping on that nose. I hope she can breathe.
Yeah, Condon with the back post there, half a chance for Adelaide, but as you mentioned, that strapping, we see it. With all the technology and medical stuff in the world, it's still something you see so regularly, the strapping around the nose and the back of the head. Thankfully, I never had that one, but yeah, it's not a great look, is it? And I'm sure she can't breathe.
Maybe she's getting clearer air. It's possible, it's a filter.
Yeah.
Adelaide back underway. Bit of energy about this Adelaide United side. Emily Hodgson. Left by Lais. Fowler wraps a left boot around it. Rashart was well aware of what was going to unfold there. And wow, look at Jessie Rashart charge up the park.
For me, Rashart's probably been one of the best on ground. Whenever she's been tested, she's always stuck to the task, showed good pace, and
pretty decent dribbling for a tall player too.
You didn't see me dribble? That's why you're saying. Yeah, she's had a fantastic game.
Aspersions.
No, she's had a fantastic game. Defended really well, led her team from the back, and as we've mentioned in the second half, they've done really, really well to limit Adelaide United with all the possession that Adelaide has had.
Glad you're not sensitive. Here we go. That was nice from Price. Oh, it could be through for a second on camera. It comes off the upright. Heather Garriock is so frustrated in the Canberra technical area. That was very close to putting Canberra up 2-0.
Yeah, the ball just fell nicely on the edge of the box. Price fed it wide. Hayley Taylor-Young was in, and it's a great save from Willisey. Left foot just deflecting that onto the upright, and you would have thought if that had gone in, Canberra would have been going a long way to taking all 3 points here in Adelaide.
Garrett calling for a player to get on the near post. It's Rashart that runs forward. Plenty of bodies. Karmas jumps. Still in play. Still could be there for Canberra.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just gone wide. That was great work from Sarah Willisey.
Yeah, Willisey, she's had a fantastic game for Adelaide. Couldn't do anything about the goal in the first half. The way Karmas attacks the ball, I mean, it's just fantastic. That's exactly what you want to see from your players. And then strike from Augie on a good save from Willisey again.
All right, another chance with Camilla on the far side. That one's nicely placed again. Red shirts out, jumping the green ones. Olivia Price. She gets it beautifully back into the mix. No one on the end of it. Fowler heads it over the top.
Fowler could have just steered that header towards the touchline or brought it down. Or maybe a chance.
Oh, goodness, Lena Karmas there again. Could be a chance for a double for Karmas. She's got Charlie there ready and waiting. Great work from Emily Hodgson. And that was definitely saving Adelaide's blushes.
Yeah, 3 big chances in a matter of minutes. Karmas, that first touch just taking her a little bit wide. A good recovery from Hodgson. Chances coming now for Canberra.
Camilla this time from the near side. Garrick think once more calling for someone to get to the near post. Up again, well, still alive, and that one has gone in. That is a second goal for Canberra United. Well, the side in green is absolutely delighted, and you'd have to think that makes it a very tough job for Adelaide United now. And you can see the disappointment on Sarah Willis's face. Goalmouth scramble. Hayley Taylor-Young.
Yeah, we said it was coming these last few minutes. Again, it's another good ball in from Camilla. Just a big crowd of players going for the ball, and as it breaks, Hayley Taylor-Young, the substitute, come on about 5 or 10 minutes ago in the right place at the right time. Simple side finish, foot finish, just basically getting it on target, and from that close range, there's very little that Sarah Willis can do. We mentioned her goal-scoring record in the NPLW ACT League, and
it's good to know we didn't put the mockers on the 17-year-old.
Yeah, she's come on and just delivered the goods.
Well, a goal in just her third appearance for Canberra United. Great stuff.
I saw an interview of hers, I think it was during the week, saying, you know, how nervous she was making her first start last week, and it maybe took her a little bit of time to get into the game, but obviously that experience has put her in good stead, because she's come on and had a real impact, and that's basically what every coach or manager wants from their players. Once you come on, have an impact in the game.
Such a boost too for Canberra, because they've been very reliant on Charlie and Torsness, even at this early, well, semi-early stage of the season. So great for them that they have 2 new goal scorers on the charts.
Yeah, definitely. The more you can share it around, you know, people can't always bang in the goal. Some do, but when they have an off day,
most are happy to be fair.
Yeah, when you have an off day, it's nice for someone else to step up and share the load.
Oh, nicely headed by Torsness. Taylor-Young again, but it's saved by Amber Brooks.
When you think this Canberra United side, if they're able to hang on for 3 points here, Stengel to come back into the team as well.
100%.
All of a sudden, they might be able to push those front 3 on the table. Certainly, yeah, but they've got Western Sydney up next. 3 points behind, they could draw level with Western Sydney. So a huge week for Canberra United in shaping their season, and in fact the W League ladder. Sure
is, but anyone who saw Western Sydney in the Sydney Derby will know that that is a huge challenge indeed. Karmas to Taylor-Young. 2 goal scorers exchanging favours. Oh, Charlie charging through. Ends up flat out on the turf. That looked on for all money, like 3-0.
She nearly found it 10 minutes after I was maybe suggesting she should be coming off. She almost found the back of the net. She still is struggling with cramp as in the foreground. But again, that was Hayley Taylor-Young on the left-hand side. Showed good pace and a great ball across the top of the 6-yard box.
Great enthusiasm, and time seems to be really ticking away for the Adelaide side. Bit of a shame, because they have shown themselves to be quite tenacious.
Yeah, that's that Taylor-Young cross, and it was a heavy collision in the middle. Adelaide defenders Grant and Brooks desperate to try and stay just at 2-0, and well, Charlie, she's taken a heavy knock, but she's still out there.
I tell you, Ashcroft is being readied for action here. Wonder whether that will be Simone Charlie that's going to make way. Emily Hodgson. Lais. Tries to switch for the left. It's now dropped for Fowler. Fowler considers her options. Still going for Fowler. Almost running around in circles there, and referee.
I think it was Rashard again.
Yeah, been a foul, and she is she's handed over possession now. As we mentioned, Crofts is coming on, and it will indeed be Simone Charlie who heads off on the far side.
She's not too keen to go across
on
that far side.
She's being urged by the referee to get a bit of the lineswoman to get a bit of a hustle on. Crofts still waiting on this side.
Didn't get a goal, Charlie, but she was lively throughout. Thought she started a little bit quiet, had her opportunities throughout the game, but you can't fault her effort, and she's definitely one to watch in this W League season.
And a change for Adelaide United. We see Dylan Holmes running on. 22-year-old, third season with Adelaide United. 7 or so minutes of regulation time remaining. You'd think it's probably a road too far for Adelaide. A shame given the effort level they've put in, but I imagine huge relief for Garriock and her Canberra side.
Yeah, you can't fault Adelaide's effort. It's been the same all season, but at some point, as I mentioned, you know, you're going to have to say, well, maybe they're just not good enough, not clinical enough in front of goal, because just 3 goals now for the season scored. You know, it's going to be a long road if they're not able to get 3 points in the next week away to Sydney. Another tough task.
For Canberra, if the scores remain the same, that'll put them on 10 points. They will remain in 4th, but it'll just give them a little bit of a gap on Brisbane in 5th. Take them within 2 points of Sydney FC. It's Melbourne City still atop the table as Fowler runs forward. Fowler. Kurtz, don't be confused by the change of number. Kaylee Kurtz, normally in 3, has changed her shirt due to the bleeding nose she's been suffering. But that table, Melbourne City atop with 16, Western Sydney Wanderers 13, Sydney FC 12, and as it stands, Canberra will fill out that last final spot. Seems odd in round 6 to be talking about finals positions, but of course there's only 12 games in each season for these ladies.
You really have to get off to a good start. I mean, we see it in the A-League. If a team's able to string 3 or 4 results together, you can really climb the table, but you know, halfway point in the season, it's already starting to take shape, and certainly the top 3 or 4 look as though they might be starting to break away very, very early.
Well, that's nice from Taylor Young. Great control. Tries to slide it through to her teammate, but Brooks says no, thank you. Willisey. Julia Ashley. Back by Kurtz. And again, Condon. Can't keep possession, nor can Karmas. Now back for Adelaide, a chance for another attack, and that's a lovely high ball, a little bit too high, and it's a bit beyond Isabel Hodgson. Once again, Adelaide with plenty of possession, but struggling to find bodies and a finishing touch in the box. Looks like there will be one more late change. Garriock are keen to get Lauren Keir into the fray. Right now, though, it's Amber Brooks who's trotting away. Jessie Rushart, as ever, diligent defence. Carly Rostbacken, Rushart again, Price. Still Olivia Price, asking a lot of Camilla, a little bit too much. Amber Brooks alive to that challenge. Now Karmas on the near side. Canberra probably need to settle just a little. Still Karmas. Oh, that's neat. Cuts inside. There for Camilla. Camilla finds Torsness. Torsness into the middle, headed easily away by Aruho. Maybe not the most effective option for Canberra. Adelaide again. Dylan Holmes that time. Brooks back to Holmes. Condon. Oh, nice work from Price. Hodgson over the top. Emily Condon. It's all slowed down a little and put back by Amber Brooks. No real intent on that cutback, and all too easy for Sham Karmas to deal with. Referee signalling that we will have last substitute perhaps from Canberra. Actually looks like the referee is now requiring some assistance. Isabella Bless on her haunches in the middle of the park. Being offered something to drink. This is an unusual occurrence. Hopefully she's okay. The team doctors have gone out to see her as the players gratefully come in. Can't be too long left on the clock, just a couple of minutes. Canberra poised to make another substitution in the closing minutes of this match. Isabella Bless back on her feet. Looks like she'll be okay to continue for the closing stages. Just 1 minute left of regulation time. You suspect there'll be a couple added on. A few injury stoppages during that second half. I think that Canberra United are going to be celebrating Christmas with those 3 points, with a 2-0 lead thanks to Lena Karmas and latterly Hayley Taylor-Young. Players back out on the pitch. Bless gone down to have a chat to Karmas. He's going to hold the ball up while the players come back out. It's Nick Orgel who's going to make way for Lauren Keir.
Maintain that shape there, you're doing a great job.
Orgel questioning whether it's actually her that's supposed to be coming off. Lauren Keir, the captain of Belconnen United. So physio's back on the pitch. Seems to be adding a fair bit of time to the match, offering a drink as Lauren Keir still waits to make her entry. Orgel now making her way towards the sideline. Busy up and down this left flank, Nicola Orgel. Lauren Keir for her 5th appearance in an Adelaide United shirt, captain of Belconnen United in their treble-winning season.
Stoppage time's gone.
She'll get quite a few minutes. You would imagine there's 5 or 6 minutes to be added on now. And confirmation, it is 6 minutes added on to this match. Maybe enough time for Adelaide to get something back out of this game, but they might need something of a Christmas miracle to get any points. Isabel Hodgson says, I'm willing to have a chance. Sham Karmas stops and will undoubtedly not be in any real hurry to start the play again for Canberra. Webber for Adelaide. Plenty of possession for Adelaide. Unfortunately not been able to turn it into goals this time round. Still Webber. That's nicely clipped back in. That was some decent play there from Dylan Holmes. Always been known for her composure on the ball, ability to control the tempo of the game, and unfortunately on that occasion, not able to direct the ball into the back of the net. Once again, taking her time. Sister Lena running onto that, putting it in the path of Camilla. Doesn't get to it before Mallory Webber. Still with Webber. Adelaide again. Desperately searching for a way through all those green shirts. It has been a green wall, and Lena Karmas now with acres of space in the middle of the park. Eventually it's shut down. Hayley Taylor-Young on the near side, but the flag's gone up. Sprint to no avail, and it'll be Adelaide again on the attack. Quick warning from the bench to Hayley to watch her run, perhaps timing them a little better. You can understand a little bit of enthusiasm. Her first goal for Canberra just minutes ago. Holmes again for Adelaide. Brooks. Plenty of bodies still as Webber charges through. Gets it there, puts it down there for Condon. Will it be in for Adelaide? And there is a goal for Adelaide United. Reward for effort. And that is a great celebration for Emily Condon. The home crowd is delighted to see a little bit of reward for the huge effort that the Reds have put in today. Canberra will be unhappy to have conceded this late in the match, but that makes it Adelaide United 1, Canberra United 2. Still a few minutes remaining, and I can tell you that the referee once more is receiving attention, clearly not feeling too fabulous. So we have another look at that. Wonderful. That all looked a little bit scrappy, but toe poke from Emily Condon. That means that Adelaide United have pulled one up, and it is Christmas time. Who knows, there could be a miracle. An 8th goal for Condon in a red shirt, her 54th appearance. And, well, we've got a late sub in the match. It's the referee that will be making way. Not something you see terribly often. It's going to be 4th official Daniel Cook taking charge for the last 3 minutes. Perhaps he's asking the question himself. Well, hopefully Isabella Bless is okay. She'll go and take a break, and Cook will restart play with the score at 2-1 in favour of the visitors. Kurt says, I'd like to get a quick long ball over the top to Taylor Young. Emily Hodgson ready and waiting. You can see enthusiasm from the Reds now. Could they do it? Could they, in these final few minutes, pull back a goal, or will Canberra go one further ahead and put it out of reach altogether? Julia Ashley. Ashley again. You see Canberra starting to press quite high now. Keen to nip in and steal possession. Isabella Hodgson can't quite get to that. Lauren Keir with her first touch of the ball. Will be a throw. All over the head of Camilla and Taylor Young. That was beautiful. Still Taylor Young. Got a lot of red shirts between her and the goal at the moment. Got help waiting centrally. Emily Hodgson takes that away after the work from Julia Ashley. Well done from the 2 Adelaide United players. Condon pumps it forward. Looks like Keir and Kurtz will combine to get there early. And they do successfully. Well, Karmas. Seconds ticking away here in Adelaide. Middle of the park only finds Adelaide United players now with Canberra. And look at the speed on Lena Karmas. So many seasons in the W League, and can still turn on the pace when she wants. Now it's Olivia Price, muscled off the ball by Amber Brooks, who wants a quick throw. No avail. Daniel Cook, our new referee, says, sorry, that's going to be a Canberra throw. And it's Lauren Keir once more. Misses the head of Karmas. Back in now with Camilla. That will be an Adelaide throw, taken quickly by Hodgson. Kurtz with all the strapping around her face from the blood nose earlier, gets the last kick of the game, and Daniel Cook says that is that after 90 minutes here at Martin Sports Complex in Adelaide. Early goal from Lena Karmas gave Canberra the first half lead, doubled by Hayley Taylor-Young in the second, and then Emily Condon getting one back for Adelaide, but it did finish here in Adelaide. Adelaide United 1, Canberra United 2. So it's Canberra United that have the Christmas present of 3 points, securing them that 4th spot on the W League table and making sure that they stay well in touch with the 3 sides above them. For Adelaide, still chasing their first point, but at times a really wonderful display from the Adelaide United side, and they could be proud of what they achieved. Emily Condon giving them some hope, but ultimately wasn't to be for them today. They go back to the drawing board, and next week they'll be heading up north to Sydney, where they'll take on Sydney FC at Kogarah. Well, let's get some reaction from the first goal scorer of the game. She is with Robbie Cornthwaite.
Thank you very much, Steph. I am joined by goal scorer Lena Karmas. Lena, Adelaide put you guys under a little bit of pressure in that first half. It must have been nice to score such a beautiful